I got him. Okay.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Y'all probably saw me run off the screen to turn off my AC, but what's good, man? It's Hoops and Brews. We here. We back in the building. Sorry, rough late start. A lot of stuff to do, but we ain't did this in a minute, so had to go ahead, had to get it in. Joe, what's good, brother? How you doing?
What's good, man? I'm solid. Exciting playing basketball today. Ready to talk about the playoffs and the rest of the playing games ahead of us.
Yeah, man. It's actually a very, 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 very exciting outlook. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
Both conferences. Both conferences.
Yeah, for both conferences, but also mainly because, I mean, everybody had this idea of what they thought the NBA was going to do going into this game. And everybody's like, watch out for the refs and all of that. And it's like, no, the Lakers very clearly were the better team today, even though I think the Pelicans, I don't think that they necessarily felt too bad about losing today. Because now you don't have to deal with that with that giant white boy in Denver.
I don't think that's how they looked at it. I don't think that's how they looked at it.
No, wrong. I'm not saying that they tried to lose the game. I'm saying they did everything they could to lose the game. And when Zion was hurt, we cool. We'll live to see another day.
I mean, you can't. That ain't nothing guaranteed in the NBA. That Kings team.
I disagree with that. I disagree with that. If I'm the Pelicans, the Kings team is wounded. Okay, cool. Keegan did his thing. Sabonis is gonna do what he does every night, night in, night out, damn near a triple-double every night. But if I'm the Pelicans, we have the ability to much of a better ability to neutralize the Kings and then beat the Thunder in a 7-game series than we do to neutralize the Kings and then beat the Nuggets in a 7-game series. So if LeBron and AD want to tackle that, go ahead, because y'all got swept last year. Am I wrong?
I mean, yeah, but it wasn't a real sweep. Like, a lot of those games came down to the wire.
Brother. Moral victories are from minor league coaches.
It was probably the most competitive sweep in NBA history.
Oh, they said Zion messed up his hamstring. Ooh. If Zion messed up his hamstring, it's over. Unless Brandon Ingram. That's your man. That's your man. That's your man.
That's not enough, man. He's coming off injury as well. He's coming off injury as well. But I do think it was a big game from Zion, though, to go out there and do that. Especially the first half, it looked like he was mainly only going at other guys outside of Bron and AD. Prince was getting cooked. Rui was getting cooked. Jackson Hayes was getting cooked in situations. But it seemed like every time LeBron James or Anthony Davis got in his face, or maybe he saw a double team, he wasn't making the right reads. And then out of nowhere, he adjusts and he's finishing over the top of guys. He's going at guys. He's getting aggressive. This was a big game for Zion Williamson. Obviously, Shaq always says the same stuff over and over again. He's always, I need you to go get 40. But it seemed like he listened to Shaq and he went out there. He did what he could to put his team in position to win, but he just couldn't pull it off because of obviously the injury. But this is a big game for him, and this is the first time, obviously, Pelicans weren't playing, I think, last year or the year, one of these years, but he wasn't there. This is his first taste at the playoffs / playing for him to be able to go out there and do that in this situation. I think that's big on his career and what he has moving forward for the league. With showing now that he's finally, in that game shape, and he shot to put on a much better performance than he did in that in-season tournament. I think when he absolutely folded, and even on Sunday when he absolutely folded, only had 12 points. But I think that's big for him moving forward in his career and what he has for the league. Because I think that a lot of people have kind of written him off, but I think the league should kind of get back on that Zion marketing train that they were when he first jumped into the league. If he can stay in this condition and stay with this level of aggression.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. And to me personally, I think that Zion put the league on notice today. When you see me rolling towards the paint, get the fuck out the way. Because he put LeBron on his ass. And LeBron,
finally.
You want to know something funny? Do you remember when Zion was coming into the league, it was like a stat that said like the force that he generates when you take a charge from him is like getting hit by a Hummer?
I think I saw that.
LeBron felt like he got hit by a fucking Hummer today. Because that boy went...
Oh, you talking about the one when he took a charge? Yeah. He tried to take a charge and Bron fell on his wrist.
LeBron is not a small guy. He went through LeBron like he was a fullback. And LeBron was a 5'11" cornerback, and he goddamn what's big boy name that just signed to the Ravens? Derrick Henry. Literally, Zion ran through LeBron like he was Derrick Henry, bro. So I know that the Lakers are glad that that they won that game, and I know they breathed a deep sigh of relief when he went out of the game, because if we're gonna be honest, the Lakers were doing their best to give away that game. Am I wrong about that? Like they
No,
were
you're not
doing their
lying. No,
best job to give that game away, and then Zion gets hurt. I I I didn't understand necessarily the motivations for Willie Green. Hey yo, shout out to the homie Simon Wace. He said D'Lo 3-time playing champ. He's the most mid player in the NBA.
relax.
No, he's not the most mid player in the. I'll say this.
D'Lo is cold.
I give D'Lo a lot of credit. You wanna know why I give D'Lo a lot of credit? Because his
He
whole
wrote them off.
career, I mean, it's not our fault he was written off. It's his fault he was written off. He did that shit in LA, ruined his reputation, went to the Warriors, flamed out, went to the Nets, was
He made
whatever.
the All Star. He made the All Star team with the Nets.
He did make the All-Star team, but
So much.
but he's never been good enough for anyone to want him to stay. So I don't want to say he's the most mid player in the NBA, but I do think D'Lo will wind up going down as like one of the all-time like great scoring like role players of this generation. Like when you look back on this generation, you'll remember D'Lo as one of the great like scorers that was a role player. Even at three that he hit, I mean, he's obviously been clutch his entire career since he was in high school. So like I like what the Lakers are doing. I think what the Lakers are doing is impressive. And if D'Lo is gonna play like this, I think they'll be successful. I think I tweeted it during the third quarter. If the Lakers are gonna play like they played in the first half, every single quarter, then they're gonna win a championship. Like Austin Reeves, by the way, ice in his veins, and I want my bottle.
I got you, man. Next HNB or whenever we go out, I got you.
I ain't forgot about it. You wanna know something funny? I wasn't even thinking about that. One of the fans sent me Austin Reeves averages in the middle of the Lakers game. Like TPJ, look at this. I'm like, yeah, let's get it cracking, bro. They holding my man's Joel accountable on the bottle bet. But I will say this. I still want my bottle. But and I gotta give you kudos and a round of applause. I actually gotta load some applause into this thing. But I give you kudos and a huge round of applause for predicting that, for believing in Austin Reeves the way you believed in Austin Reeves. Give me your thoughts on the Lakers, and now that they're moving on to play the Denver Nuggets, are they actual real world contenders? Are we going to look at do they really have a chance to beat the Nuggets? Before you do that, just center your camera a little bit for me. But do they really have a chance to beat the Nuggets? Go ahead, Joe. Talk to me. Do the Lakers really have a chance to beat the Nuggets?
I believe so. I don't see why anybody would believe otherwise. I understand they did what they did in the playoffs, but like I said earlier in the podcast, it was a very, very competitive series. And one thing to piggyback on what you were saying about D'Lo is last year in the conference finals when the Lakers were swept, D'Lo probably had one of the worst series we've seen from a player. He had career lows and everything. I think he averaged like 6 points per game. He was getting benched in the fourth quarter, and when he was out there, he was a liability on both ends. He wasn't spacing the floor. He was getting attacked on defense, and it was a disaster class. It was he followed it kind of that way in the beginning of this season. He wasn't playing that well. He was in trade rumors, and then out of nowhere, his game just went to a whole nother level. Like for the past 3, 4, 5, it's a big sample size. It's not just like a couple like it's not like small couple games or so. Last 3, 4, 5 months, he's been exceptional. I think he's having one of the greatest 3-point seasons in Laker history. He's hit over, I think, 253s this year. Shot over 42% from three. And he is there in moments. He's had some decent defensive moments, but man, the three ball has just been insane. He releases it quick, one of the quickest, highest releases in the league. He can go off the dribble, spot up. He can come out off the pick and roll in various different ways. He's making reads. He's taking a lot of pressure off LeBron James and Davis with the way he's played. If D'Lo doesn't do what D'Lo doesn't do what he did today, Lakers don't win this game. If he can give us a couple, we don't need him to do this the entire series. Last year, he didn't give us a single good game in the Western Conference Finals. If he can give us 2, 3, maybe even 4 games similar to what he did today, I think the Lakers have a very legit chance. I think he's going to be the X factor for the series. Because coming from getting nothing from him last year to getting what he's been doing this year, last 3, 4, 5 months of the season, that changes the entire dynamic of the series. And I also think this Lakers team is just they're more seasoned. They play well together. I think we got about 4 or 5 more wins than we did last season this year. And that could have been changed if Ham, I think he was doing a little bit too much at the start of the year. He didn't have Rui in the starting lineup, was running Cam Reddish out there, he was just doing too much experimenting when the recipe was right there in front of your face. When he got back to the basics, which is Rui in the starting lineup, Reeves in the starting lineup, and these things, Lakers, they start winning basketball games, just like how they did post All-Star break last year, heading into the crazy fire run that they had last year. But yeah, so once they got to the basics, they became a different basketball team. They just have to come. It's gonna come down to the execution. If they can run these lineups, they can shorten the rotations. Guys can show up. Reeves can continue to be big for him. Rui can continue to be big for him, and they can if they have to execute down because pretty much every Lakers Nuggets game kind of ends the same way. It'll be a back and forth battle. The next thing you know, boom, boom. Nuggets were up 6 straight, 8 straight. A couple bad plays will happen, and the game is over. It'll go in that direction. But I think that with the chemistry this team has now, this is now the second year coming back with the same core. I think it'll be a little bit more different coming down the stretch with these games, and I think that they can keep it close. I think they definitely have the star power. They have the I think they have the big. They kind of only area they kind of lack that worries me is that they don't have the depth, the bigs. If you look at 2020 when the Lakers beat the Nuggets, they had JaVale McGee, Dwight Howard, and Davis. Now you're just kind of looking at it's more just Davis, and I mean Hayes has his moments, but Hayes isn't he's not that reliable on that aspect. Guarding the Jokic, he's gonna get into foul trouble quick. He's gonna jump at everything, and he just isn't really skilled unless he's got a lob or he's got a wide open lane to the basket. But besides the big aspect, I think that the Lakers do have a shot at this team. I don't think that, and I think one of the most outrageous takes heading into this offseason that the Lakers should tank and avoid this team. Like that's not something professionals do. I'd rather get this series. This is a matchup. Me personally, I wanted to get out the way in the first round. Get this out the way. Let's go. If we get them, we get them. If not, or we don't, because I mean we're gonna have to run them to them regardless. We'll get them fresh. LeBron, Davis are gonna get what's today? Tuesday. Get about series start Saturday. I think they get about 3-4 days of rest. I come back in head into Saturday. We should be locked in. This is not LeBron coming off a couple playoff series, not AD coming off a couple playoff series. Be getting them fresh in the beginning. If we get them, the momentum will be crazy. I think if the Lakers beat the Nuggets, I'll pretty much lock in a Lakers Mavericks Western Conference Finals. But I do think it's possible this year for us to get over this hump. But I mean, if not, I mean it is what it is. But I do think I wouldn't bet on it, but I do think it's very actual possible that I think they have a higher chance of beating out the first round than the Clippers do for sure.
Yeah, I think the Lakers are actual contenders for the first time really all year. And the reason why I say that, and I agree with you, is because I believe that if the Lakers are able to beat the Nuggets, I think they're going to go to the finals and they'll play the Celtics. And I think the NBA gets their wish, Lakers-Celtics first round. I think that would be something that would make Adam Silver's heart just flutter and go crazy, especially now you got Caitlin Clark going to the WNBA. You coming off Lakers-Celtics finals. Maybe LeBron, if LeBron can somehow pull together a ring this year, this is a legacy year. This will, if the Lakers win the championship and LeBron is the best player on the Lakers, I will no longer be upset at anyone who says that LeBron is greater than Michael Jordan. And I think that LeBron has a lot left in the tank for one more final run. And honestly, you go, and this might sound crazy, but if LeBron win a ring this year, he probably should retire.
Not without that farewell tour. You need that farewell tour.
Well, why does LeBron need a farewell tour?
Because it's too much. It's just too much. That's just too much. That's too much of an opportunity. No, he's not passing on that, especially LeBron. We know LeBron.
I mean, the ego,
flowers. He loves getting his flowers.
The ego maniac that LeBron is, he's gonna take his farewell tour. But
exactly.
but winning number 5 and then being like, yeah, I'm done. I'm going to start the franchise in Vegas would be fire.
That would be amazing too.
That would be fire. Or I'm going to bring back the Seattle Supersonics because Nike headquarters is up there in Washington. That would be fire.
Also go ahead. The Bronny James aspect. Don't forget, you might want to.
He's not making the league. We have to stop.
His last name is James.
We have to stop with this fantasy. We have to stop with this like he could barely get any time on his own team in college.
His last name
I don't understand this, bro.
His last name is James, man. You don't think LeBron could strong arm a team into getting
look, shout out black nepotism. I love it. It's beautiful. But this is ridiculous.
You don't think if Giannis could get tenacious on the bench,
J. Cole taking up a roster spot
you don't
in
think
Africa.
what is Tenacious doing on for the Bucks? Taking up a
Thanasis?
roster spot. Yeah. Why is that happening? Because of his brother. You don't think LeBron James got more
I
power than
don't think
Giannis Antetokounmpo?
I disagree with that though. Have you ever seen Dame Lillard talk about Thanasis?
Oh my God! Because he's a. Come on, man! Don't do that. It's because he's
So you
positive.
telling me a
he
team
brings energy to the team.
So you telling me a team drafting Bronny to bring energy?
To possibly bring LeBron James. And you don't think LeBron James could easily hint at, kind of like when LeBron told the Heat to draft Shabazz Napier, then he dipped out on him, and it just kind of just stuff like that. I just think just off the strength of his last name alone, and that he's going to go through workouts. And also, last season is kind of an anomaly for him. It doesn't really showcase his talent the way it was supposed to. He coming off the heart injury. USC is probably was probably a bottom 3 team in the Pac-12. They were horrible. And it was a mess. LeBron even talked about himself on the podcast how he watching them gave him a headache. It was just USC was an all around mess. But if he can show some decent skills in the combine, if not, then he can come back to another team where hopefully he can showcase himself, getting at least maybe 10 or 16
If
points
he
per
don't
game.
go to the league this year, how many years is it going to take him to get to the league?
No more than 2. No more than 2.
So LeBron going to play 3 more years?
I say LeBron that's 2 more years for LeBron after this one. You can't.
All right. If that's what you say,
I can see. I just think LeBron himself just has too much. He's too powerful to not let it to make for his son not to make the league. And I don't think his son is like trash. Like, I mean, he can hit a 3.
I never said he was
has
trash.
high IQ.
I never said he was trash.
Yeah, he's athletic.
I never said he was trash. I said he wouldn't get no tick on his own college team. And this is no disrespect to him. He had a catastrophic injury
towards the end of the year
that he's recovering from. And I mean, I don't know. To me, it's just like if he was anybody else's son, would we be saying the same things? No, we would not.
No, most definitely.
And to me, I think that's an injustice and it does a disservice to a lot of basketball players out there that deserve the opportunity. Because you can say what you want to about the Nasties, but he's still got a team. He been in the league for a while now. It's not like he only been there 1 year because he Giannis' brother. Like, Giannis got other brothers that ain't on teams no more.
I mean, you could argue the reason
Costa's not on no team no more.
You could argue the reason why he was on that team because the Lakers was trying to draw Giannis. That was the whole reason.
But Costa was on like 2 different teams though. That's my point. And then he flamed out. He's not in the league no more.
Those stints weren't that long.
He's not in the league, but that's my hope. But you missing my point, Joe. That's exactly my point. My point is he had brothers that tried to make the NBA and could not make the NBA. The Nasties made the NBA, and it has been in the NBA for like 7 years. At what point do we just stop this?
You don't think Bronny could do the same thing? Flame out. He's definitely going to get opportunity. He's definitely going to get, if not multiple opportunities, just off his. Like it's too much power there.
I'm not arguing against the opportunities. I'm arguing that if you telling me LeBron is gonna come back because he won a farewell tour and to maybe play with Bronny in one game when Bronny get in for 5 minutes over the course of an 82 game season. Cool, I respect it. That's beautiful. That's black love. That's black father, son. That's family right there. I love that. That's beautiful. But if we talking about actual NBA basketball, come on, man. Is Bronny better than Davion Mitchell right now? Is he even better than Davion Mitchell was when Davion Mitchell came in the league? No.
He can be, though. Like, he can be if he continues to work. Like, Davion
Mitchell, my height. He your height. You what, an inch taller than me? Inch and a half taller than me?
Yeah,
he your height.
the same, but
he your fucking height. What you talking about? He your goddamn height. You sit up here talking like that's what I'm. But I'm not saying this to be disrespectful. I'm just saying like if he wins a ring, there is nothing left to prove. There is nothing left to play for at this point in time. You're not getting 6. You're not getting 6.
Even if
you're not, you want to know why you're not getting 6? You're not getting 6. Number one. Because Shea and them boys coming back way better next year, just off of experience, because they ain't never had none. And them coming back way better next year, just because off of experience they ain't had none. Celtics ain't going nowhere. Bucks ain't going nowhere. 76ers not going nowhere. Nuggets not going nowhere. Mavericks just rebuilt their team at the trade deadline. They not going nowhere. The Suns strapped in with that cap and Grayson Allen and KD and them, they not going nowhere. The Kings gonna be healthy again. They not going nowhere. The Warriors, God knows what happens with them, but they still may be in the mix. And you got that goddamn alien in San Antonio where if you give him one or two pieces, they in the mix.
You don't think LeBron want to pad his scoring record as well and just keep getting all these records and stuff? I think he like doing that as well.
At this point, at this point, what does any of this stuff prove? That's my point. My point is he can keep playing basketball until his leg fall off. But what is the point, bro?
It's basketball, man. That's all a lot. I'm not saying LeBron is very versatile too, but that's a lot. That's all the word.
The same way I feel about Diana Taurasi. It's time to move out the way. It's just time. It's nothing. Look, like, bro, it's nothing wrong with it being time. Like, I don't think LeBron is better than he was any year in his career, other than his after his third year right now.
You could argue he's better than this year than last year, though.
No, he's not.
He played, he played like 70 games this year.
No, he played more games. That doesn't mean he was better this year.
And the Lakers won more games. He played more.
They made it to the conference finals last year.
The same thing happened this year.
And they weren't healthy. No, you missing my point, bro. My point with LeBron is, to me, last year he played better than he played this year. This year, it's a visible fall off. He be missing layups all the time.
He been missing layups the last like 4, 5, 6 years.
Sorry, I got an eyelash.
He still had an exceptional season though.
He's still gonna be All NBA.
He's still unanimously at least 3rd team All NBA. LeBron not gonna make All NBA. LeBron not gonna make All NBA. Come on, man.
Nah, let's listen to All NBA right now.
All right, let's do it.
Hold on, wait a minute. I got a goddamn eyelash in my damn. Got an eyelash in my eye. Who makes All NBA? All right, first team. Let's go.
My first team, I'm going Shea, Luka, Tatum, Jokic, Brunson.
Hold on, slow down, brother.
All right,
one at a time, brother.
Shea.
Okay. Why?
Luka.
Why though?
Best player on the best team in the conference, youngest team in NBA history to ever get the 1 seed, 30 points per game, consistently night in and night out. Clearly the best player on that team, despite the fact that they do have supporting features. He's clearly the guy they lean on night in and night out to get them their wins, and he shows up 75 plus games. Just the staple of consistency and everything you want in your lead guy, night in and night out. I think he's unanimous first team All NBA. And then I'm going Luka, obviously, led the Mavericks to the 4th seed, having arguably his best season of his career. He's out there consistently every night, putting up magical numbers, doing stuff we've never seen. Pretty much a new move, something new, wowing everybody every single night. Tatum, best player on probably one of the best teams, regular season teams over the last 5 to 10 years. They comfortably clinched the best record in the East months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Comfortably led them to the.
Go ahead.
Comfortably led them to the best team in the best team in the league and the East, like by landslide. Out there every night, 28 points a game, hitting big shots, playing both sides of the floor. Sometimes he's taking the best matchup. Wow, he's also giving them 30. Just another exceptional Jason Tatum season. Pretty much what the norm for him. I think he's been All NBA last like 3-4 years. He's set up for a supermaxes, I believe, this summer. Then obviously Jokic, possibly the 3-time MVP in the next couple months. Exceptional, leading the Nuggets to another great year. They finished with the 2 seed this year. A walking triple double. The leader of that group does a great job finding those guys, hitting big buckets, and just doing everything you want. Like pretty much just the definition of a modern center. The ability to play, make, shoot, put the ball on the floor, and hit contested tough shots. And then I think my last pick, I slid Brunson in there for number 2. And I think Jalen Brunson has been exceptional. The best Knicks point guard we've seen in my lifetime, over 20, 30 years. And to get them to the 2 seed with Randall being out, rallying this guys the way he has done, I think has been absolutely amazing. He has made the Knicks must see TV all by himself. Pretty much, they obviously have a great supporting cast. I think they have about 3-4 guys having a career year this season, but all that feeds off of Brunson, the way he leads them, the way he lights up the Madison Square Garden night in and night out, the big shots he hits, and the effort he plays with, and the tough shots he hits, and being at his size, he's shorter than me. I think he's like 5'10", I believe. For him to go from being a second fiddle guy in Dallas to being a lead guy and taking his team to heights like this, where most people were questioning the signing, from going from a guy that's like, I don't know if he deserves that 90, 100 million. I think that's crazy, to this dude is top 5 in a lot of people's MVP ballots after what he's done this year. So I'm throwing Brunson as the 5th guy in my first team on the NBA.
Cool. I'm going Shea because, as you said, they have the best record. Also, he's just been the best point guard in the league this year. Then I'm gonna go Luka Doncic just because Luka has just been a force, and he's been a force since he stepped in. I told y'all he was gonna be better than LeBron. Only thing he's missing right now at this pace is a ring. If he win a ring this year, he's better than LeBron ever was. Period. Point blank. In a story. If he score less than 32, 8-8, his averages go down. You ain't never heard nothing like that before in your life. Then number 3, I am going to agree with you and go with Tatum. Tatum is very vanilla, but I mean, I guess it just matches. It just matches his personality. He's just very vanilla, but I gotta give him credit. He's been balling this season, and they had the best record, and he was the best player on the best team. Then I'm gonna go Nikola Jokic because he's still the best player in the league to me personally, pound for pound. And just the way he's able to be a dynamo and just really orchestrate the game of basketball, kind of the way a musician plays music, he does it on a basketball court. And then I'm going with Giannis. Average 31, 10-plus rebounds, 6-plus assists, shot over 60% from the field, the first player to average over 30 and shoot over 60% from the field. So I think he had a phenomenal year, and he's always still a defensive freak, even though he's not as explosive as he once was. And then I'll go ahead and lead off the second team. For my second team, I have Jalen Brunson. I have Anthony Edwards. I have Anthony Davis. I have that's interesting. It's kind of interesting because y'all, you might not like this, and I know he didn't make the All-Star team, but I'm actually put Domantas Sabonis on my second team.
I'm not mad. He's had a pretty good. I'm not mad.
He didn't make the All-Star team, but he averaged basically 20 points, 13.7 rebounds per game. He averaged what? How many assists per game he averaged? I think it was over 7. Yeah, he averaged 7.7 assists per game. He shot 37.9% from the three-point percentage and 59.4% from the field goal range. Like, he played out of his mind this year. He really did. And honestly, he's never going to get the love he deserves, but I really do feel like he deserved that love this year. And personally, I'm going to put him on that team. And is that 5?
Was that? I think that was 4.
I said Brunson. Damn, who did I say? I said Brunson, Anthony Davis, Sabonis.
You need one more.
That's kind of hard. That's kind of tough. That's interesting. It's so crazy how Tyrese Halliburton just kind of fell off.
Yeah, they say he's playing hurt though.
Okay, well he all he got to do is really outplay Dame. That's interesting. Yeah, you know what? I guess I would probably put LeBron. I really hate to put two Lakers in there, especially given their seed. But I also don't want to put 2 Timberwolves in there. So I would probably put LeBron there. Who you got on your second team?
My second team, I got Giannis on my second team. Obviously, he got what you say, he's having a pretty good year, but I just can't. They started off 30-13 and didn't get to 50 wins. The fall off is just a little bit too crazy in the second half.
Doc's fault.
That's a lot to blame.
All right,
Doc.
brother. That's
It's a lot. It's a lot to blame Doc.
I'm not even trying to pull the Sun U reporter card because you're not reporting like, were you at the games? But real shit, was you in them locker rooms after they lost some of them goddamn games when they lost in the fourth quarter? Doc ain't had no real goddamn answers.
What type of stuff was he saying?
Blake was hurt. That's what he was saying. Blake was fucking hurt. Which, by the way, shout out to Blake Griffin, man. He retired today.
Yeah, that's one.
A future Hall of Famer, according to half of our Twitter followers. A hood Hall of Famer to the other 25%, and hell no to the remaining 25%. But continue. Go ahead.
Real quick, yeah, shout out to Blake. I just want to shout out to Blake real quick. He's one of the cornerstones of my childhood. Pretty much had like the biggest social media moment. Pretty much like the first big social media moment when he dunked on Powell, when he dunked on Big Perk and all that stuff. I hated him growing up, but I mean, I think that's a form of respect is when you hate on the player. Yeah. He's killed the Lakers. But anyways, to continue, like I said, I had Giannis. I got KD on my second team. I think he's been exceptional this year.
I was fighting between KD and LeBron because I was going to say KD, but the Suns were just so inconsistent to me. Like the Lakers, I can forgive their inconsistency because LeBron was hurt and the role players were hurt. For the Suns, like
they were dealing with a lot of injuries too.
They were, but like KD was playing if you go back to the beginning of the season, after the first month and a half, I said KD was the MVP. He was not playing like that after that. So go ahead, my bad.
He was out there by himself. But I'm going KD because I think Beal was in and out of the lineup. But once the core guys are there, they win games. They locked up they avoided the play-in, which is a heck of a fortune for them. As much as heavy of a load as they have put on KD this year, so I think that was big. He's another extremely efficient season from him across the board. I think 28. He's rebounding 7 boards a game, distributing a little bit. But I just think he's been another exceptional KD. And this year, he recently said that he didn't get hurt this year. Nobody flopped into his leg. I know a couple of times he messed his MCL.
He's a liar. He definitely slipped on his goddamn.
That was one time, but don't act like JaVale McGee ain't falling into his legs.
That's not what we're talking about, bro. That's not what we're talking about. He said he didn't get hurt. That is a lie.
That was a minor injury.
No, but that is a literal lie. That was Kevin. You told a literal lie. You definitely got hurt this season, and it was not because nobody flopped into your leg.
That was a minor injury, though.
His legs are skinny as mine.
That was a minor, G. But the ones when people flopped into his legs were long term. So after KD, I got Anthony Edwards. Obviously, both ends rallied the Timberwolves team to the highest seed we've seen them in a very long time. Cat went down. He pretty much. No more. But yeah, Anthony Edwards has been great this year. A future staple of the league. Ability doing both ends and finish games. And this is just the plays. He won a game by a last-minute block. Had one of probably the best dunks of the last 5 years over John Collins. He just must see TV. Explosiveness and ability to score at all 3 levels is fire. Shout out to Anthony Edwards. Now I'm going with Kawhi in my next spot. I know the Clippers obviously closed the year on a horrible note. They've been playing bad basketball, but Kawhi Leonard gets that next spot. Shout out to him. I think that he's played the most games this year that he's played in a very long time. Pretty much once he hit the 65 or 66, the limit to make All-NBAs when he all of a sudden disappeared. But outside of the last couple of months, he's been exceptional for the Clippers, playing both ends, hitting big shots, doing his thing. Just being Kawhi Leonard, being the robot, carrying them to wins, and just leading the team. And then my last All-NBA second team spot, so I'm going to go to AD. I think AD has been exceptional. I talked about this with Pavy on either the last podcast or one of these podcasts, but this is arguably his best season as a Laker, even including 2020.
Yeah.
He has
lean over a little bit. We can't see your whole face, brother.
Yeah, he has literally been anchoring the Lakers defense all year, and he's been doing it on the offensive end as well. He's also, I believe, top 3 in pretty much everybody's defensive player of the year ballot. But the offense is also there. He's hitting mid ranges. He's posting up. He is pretty much like he's a staple in this league as at the 5 position. A lot of people he's
definitely the second best 5 in the no, third, he's not. Yeah,
third behind Embiid and Jokic. But he's pretty much stapled himself as really one hell of a player. Just he makes exceptional. He saves games, save plays consistently, and he can also do it on offense. And then Charlie the third on my third team.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going Book. I think Book has had an insanely efficient year this season. I think his ability, him and KD, obviously Beal was the one that's been more out of the lineup, but I think he's been great this year. So I'm going Book on my 13. I'm going Donovan Mitchell. I think he's kind of slept under the radar because Cleveland They flamed out bad last year in the playoffs, but good thing this is a regular season award. Donovan Mitchell's getting like 26 a game. I think on like 47% from the field. He's dynamic. He's clearly the best player on that Cavs team, and they locked up the 4th seed.
They fucking tanked it to the 4th seed. Get the fuck out of here.
Dude, how do you tank to the? How does that make sense? How do you tank to the 4th seed?
They tanked to the 4th seed. You ain't see the last game of the season when they took out all their fucking players and put all them big men in the game and Amani Bates in the second half to lose to the Hornets? Fuck out of here.
So what? You still 4th?
Man, you know how many teams want to be the 4th seed? No motherfucking credit for that shit, man. I don't want to hear that shit,
Did D-Mitch make that call?
No, he ain't on my 3rd team because of that. He ain't on my 3rd team because of that. Go ahead.
We're talking about an 80-game award.
He ain't on my 3rd team because of that.
He
ain't on my 3rd team because of that. Go ahead.
And then I'm giving it to Halliburton. The ability to drag the
you do good though, boy. You're on the finest of the finest of the finest of the finest.
I'm not doing no dope, G.
What about fucking Paolo Banchero?
I still got 2 more slots. I got 2 more slots. I said 3 players. I got 2 more slots. But Halliburton led the league in assists. If no Halliburton,
he
no
fell
pace,
off a cliff.
No, and they still got a top 6 seed.
He
is the whole engine behind that.
Brother.
The Pacers are whatever you want.
You ain't even named Sabonis on your list, and you got Halliburton.
I got 2 more players.
Go ahead.
The 9 seed Kings. I'm so impressed.
Go ahead.
Hallie, this ability to just charge that and run that Pacers team at the fast pace they do, consistently 99. I think that's very impressive. No Halliburton, the Pacers is they down there with the Pistons or some shit. So I think that you got to take that into account. They one of the worst teams in the league without him, I feel like. And then you also, I'll throw some bonus in there, the walking triple double. Even though I feel like a lot of his stats is kind of empty sometimes because he's always ended up being a liability in the playoffs and then my last slot, I haven't kind of figured this out yet, but I think I'm gonna go with. You mentioned Ben Carroll. I guess I'll go. Oh my bad, my last spot going to Steph. I just think he's like when you look at that Warriors team, he was one of the main people to point out how. They've had a couple of standouts this year. I mean, in Kuminga, Pods, and Trey Davis Jackson, a couple of dudes have been able to really contribute. Wiggins ain't remember how to play basketball until about a month ago. Clay, 0 for 10 today, the most inconsistent season in his career, and Steph is still getting out there giving you 28. One of the best 3-point shooters in the league, doing his thing, night in, night out with the inconsistent rotations that Steve Kerr throws out there. I don't know why Steph didn't play fucking 48 minutes tonight. He subbed him out late, I think beginning of the 4th or late 3rd, something like that, some nonsense. But just despite all of that, he's still giving you Steph Curry type presence and doing his thing. So my last spot can go to Steph.
All right, cool. And for me, I have in my 3rd team, I have Devin Booker, I have Steph Curry, I have Rudy Gobert, I have Paolo Banchero, and for my last spot, I am going to go with
Donovan didn't play 65 games. That's what I'm looking at the comment.
Oh, Donovan didn't play 65 games? Let me see. Donovan Mitchell. Where the hell is his name at? Donovan. How many points a game?
If he didn't, then I'm putting.
How many points a game he averaged this year?
I think 26. Pretty sure it's 26.
Oh yeah, he didn't. Yep. He not even on the list. Yep. Donovan didn't play.
How many did he play?
I don't know, but it won 65.
I tell you, I get up out the Zion then.
All right, I'm not mad at that. I'm gonna go with. I got one name left, right?
I think so. Yeah.
I'm going with Wemby.
Ooh, that's spicy.
No, it's not. Without a doubt, a top 15 player in the league this year. 20 points a game, 10 rebounds, 3 blocks, 2 steals a game. He brought his shooting averages up to. Let me see. Hold on, actually, because I believe it's above. Hold on, wait a minute. I wanna make sure I'm right. Let me make sure. Wemby's stats for this season: he averaged 21.4 points per game, 10.6 blocks, 3.9 assists. He shot 46.5% from the field, 32.5% from the 3-point line, 79.6% from the field goal range. Win share 3.7, PER 23. I loved everything that I saw from him, this year. And to me, I think that and I'm sorry, he averaged 1.2 steals a game and 3.6 blocks a game. But I don't think that there is a player in the league that night in, night out this year was as exhilarating to watch as Victor Wembanyama. I don't think that there was a better defensive player in the league, pound for pound, player to player. I'm not talking about the team game. I'm talking about the specific player-to-player matchup. I don't think there was anybody on the floor that was better than him defensively. Everybody was running away from him. You saw Draymond Green even endorsed him and said that he believed he deserved to be Defensive Player of the Year. I believe Wemby deserved that spot over anybody else. And I know everybody will talk about how bad his team was, but I don't think that they were really making an emphasis on winning this year. I think they were trying to figure out what it was that Wemby does well. And what they figured out was he can do every goddamn thing well, including hit a sham god, turnaround, dribble, one-step dribble layup to the rim from the three-point line.
I'm with you.
Or walk up or run up the court and pull up while playing Nikola. Like this, bro, you know how crazy Wemby is, bro? Like
crazy. Trust me.
Think about it, right? You're Jokic, right? Your immediate reaction whenever a big man is running up the floor with the ball, or to that big man, is to run to the middle and get to the spot. If Wemby is running up the court, you have to guard past the three-point line, or you will in the future.
That's what I can't.
That's a cheat code.
I can't believe we let Glasses Malone hop on here and lie about Wemby like that. I still hop sometimes that he let that man come here and lie about Wemby like that. But yeah, Wemby is he's insane. He's changing the five position. He's changing the five position. Wemby is changing the five position. But
I don't think he's changing the five position.
He is changing the five position because if your five position can't get out there and move their feet and get out there and do certain things, you're not gonna be able to compete.
We gotta stop.
Wemby's gonna blow you out of the water if you don't have somebody who can move like that.
What is his nickname?
Alien.
101.
I feel you, but I mean, that's like me walking around.
That's like me for the past 8 years on this goddamn podcast, lying to the world, saying that somebody was gonna be the next LeBron. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I was lying, saying that somebody was better than LeBron before certain ages until Luka Doncic came along, and now I got a legitimate case every year that Luka Doncic plays basketball. For the rest of his career, as long as he win 2-3 rings, that he has had a better career than LeBron James. That's an argument that I can make.
I remember that.
The rest of the LeBron arguments are shit at this point because there's no one like him. So before we rush to say he's revolutionizing anything, let's make sure that what he is doing can be replicated. I don't even think we know if what he's doing can be replicated because we don't even know. Like, they interview Wemby at the end of the season. They said, how do you feel about the season? He said, well, I'm sure that everybody else I did good. But if you ask me, I feel like I didn't do that well. I only feel like I'm at 15% of what I could be. And even when I would have a good game or I would do something historic, I would go home. I was like, that was a good game, but I could have did better. Think about that.
Talking like Prince Hakeem.
But that's how he said it. I had a good game, but I could have did better. This kid is the truth. So I'm gonna take Wemby. But let's go ahead. Let's get in a couple more topics. Let's speed through some of these. Will Kawhi Leonard perform in the playoffs? I believe that he has a torn meniscus. I've been told by some inside sources that Kawhi Leonard is perfectly fine, that they just wanted to rest him and he'll be ready for the playoffs. So what do you think? Will Kawhi be available to perform? And do you think he will perform up to his standard in the playoffs? Or do you think that the Mavericks will make light work of the Clippers like I do? Because I believe the Mavericks will beat the Clippers in 6 games.
6 games. What I got to say, I mean, if Kawhi is healthy, he's going to go out there and he's going to be exceptional. Kawhi Leonard, year in, year out, when he's there, is one of the best playoff performers we have ever seen. He just hit one of the biggest playoff shots in history. Obviously, the big shot over the Raptors in Game 7 that bounced all over the rim, and he went crazy. The fadeaway leaning towards the baseline. But just overall in general, the 2019 playoff run was exceptional. He was winning Finals MVPs. His first 4 years into the league, he was already getting those. is he almost in theory he was going to beat the 73 win Warriors if he didn't sprain his ankle in 2016, I believe, whatever year that was. But yeah, there's plenty of years you can point back to his career where he has been an absolute monster in the playoffs. When he's healthy, he is gonna get to his spots. He's gonna get to the elbow. He's gonna get wherever he wants. He's gonna get whatever shot he wants to get, and he's gonna knock it down. He's also gonna go on the other side of the floor. He's gonna create havoc on defense. He's gonna blow screens up. He's gonna use his hands, his length to poke the balls out, get deflections, do all of the above. So, and when he's out there, so I don't see why that would change, barring his health. If he's healthy, I expect the exact same thing for him. But I don't have the Clippers. I think one of the most false narratives in the NBA and in the world right now is that the Luka owns the Clippers. I think I hate when people say that. Kendrick Perkins got on national TV and mimicked Luka smacking the Clippers with a belt, and that's straight BS. I don't appreciate that. That's a lie. You can't be 0-2 versus a team and own them. Doesn't make sense unless what the coach is drawing that's what the coach is drawing up is, all you want to do is go out there and have Luka get numbers. That's not what we're doing. We play the game to win. So until he actually beats his team, and even though if he does beat them, I still don't want people running around saying he owns his team, because he doesn't. It'll be the first time he beats them in the series. They've met twice already. This is the third time. You don't own this team just because you get big stats on them. But I do think this year, with the upgrades that this Mavericks team has made, adding Gafford, adding PJ Washington, adding Kyrie Irving, these are guys that weren't there in the past years versus this Clippers team, and just with the way Luka's playing and the dynamic of him and Kyrie being arguably the most dangerous duo in the league. The Gafford additions and the front court is monstrous. Gafford is, I think, shooting above 70% from the field. He's having one of the easiest jobs in the league. Luka, Kyrie, those guys, they spoon feed him. I really like what they're doing. But I think this is the year they get over the hump, and Dallas does beat them. But if Kawhi's out there, I expect Kawhi Leonard to perform, be, if not the best player in the series, right behind Luka for best player in the series if he's out there.
Yeah. I think the Dallas Mavericks are going to make light work of the Clippers. The Clippers cannot guard small guards, or they cannot guard guards or wings in the pick and roll. I think Kawhi is over the hill as a defender. Paul George is over the hill as a defender. Russell Westbrook is over the hill as a defender. James Harden has never been a good defender. Daniel Tice is an average defender. Visa Zubac is a solid defender. Terrence Mann is a great defender, but he can't create enough on offense, so they leave him open, which makes him a weak spot for the Clippers on the floor. Bones Highland will not play at all. Kai Jones will not play at all. And I believe that the same thing that Darvin Ham and the Lakers did to LeBron when LeBron scored, I believe it was 19 in the fourth quarter, and I was there to witness that. They're going to spend the first couple quarters trying to run and keep pace with the Clippers. And then come fourth quarter, they're going to look on the floor. Who's the weakest defender? Point them out. Put them in a screen and roll. And you either going to get a wide open corner three to a Tim Hardaway Jr. or one of those other guys, or you're going to get a lob at the rim to Gafford. And then if not, and it breaks down, you got Kyrie Irving, the greatest isolation basketball player in NBA history, and you got Luka Doncic, one of the greatest top 25 basketball players in NBA history to me. And I just don't think that the Clippers have enough. They're not going to fool me again. They fooled me about 4 times since I've been covering them. I'm not being fooled again. They're going to get eliminated in 6. Remember, I said it. I'm not taking it back. It is what it is. That's how I feel.
I feel you, but the thing is, that's what they did in the last series. They was able to get those. They was able to get the matchup they wanted. They had Zubac going 1-on-1, Luka in the pick and roll every time. He was exploiting that, and they still couldn't get over the hump. But I do think that this year,
but we have to. But can we stop talking about last time? Because this team is not the same team. Daniel Gafford was not on that team. PJ Washington, who's a threat from the mid-range and can hit a corner 3, was not on that team. So
Clippers team. The Clippers got Westbrook now. They got James Harden. This is not the same Clippers team either.
They're not better.
Not the same Clippers team.
I don't think the Clippers team is like. They're not the same, but they're way worse defensively. James Harden is one of the worst defenders in the NBA. It's been that way. Russell Westbrook can guard Kyrie or Luka.
I mean, he could. I'd rather have Westbrook on them guys than a couple other.
You do good though. You do good though. You do good though.
I mean, it sounds crazy because
you do good though. You do good though.
You do good dope. Fuck out of here with that.
I guess,
shit.
man. Like I said, I picked the Mavs too, but I'm not gonna sleep on the Clippers though. I know that they're
do
still
that.
no
Don't
slouch.
do that.
The Mavs is my pick too.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
No, but listen.
Don't
bro,
do that.
Don't do that, brother. I'm telling you. Just don't get anybody's hopes up. They're gonna get washed. But let's go ahead. Let's move on to the next topic. It's over for the Warriors. They are eliminated from the play-in. Number 10 seed eliminated by the Sacramento Kings. Steph Curry basically said that he can't see himself in Golden State without Clay and Draymond. And he followed up by saying, I just want to win post-game versus their elimination to the Kings. What are your impressions on where the Warriors go from here? Obviously, they're in salary cap hell, and they're actually over the second apron. So they're either going to have to shed a lot. So they're going to have to shed a lot of salary or trade a bunch of their young guys in hopes that someone will take on some of their salary. Clay is up for renegotiation. I've been trying to trade Clay all season. Wiggins, I believe it's time for them to move on from him. I think Kuminga needs to be the centerpiece and the star. I think you trade away everyone else that is not Steph Curry, Draymond, and Kuminga. And I think you just try to go with a completely brand new slate. I like Trace Jackson Davis. I think he's very good. He can be a solid big man in their rotation for them for years to come. But I do think that what they need is a new shooting guard. I think that they need a new shooting guard that is more of a 3-and-D Dante DiVincenzo type of guy. They thrive best when Clay was more of a 3-and-D type of player that could flame it up. I think that they need to go and try to find a stronger option at center. I also think that the Warriors should permanently move Draymond Green to the bench and bring in a new power forward so that way they can run their offense different to start the game and then bring Draymond in to create chaos and then run that old school style Warriors basketball. Because I believe that, Pavi said this, and I believe it was like that he thought that the Warriors, the rest of the league had caught up to the Golden State Warriors. And Joel, I think you froze, so you might want to log out and log back in. But Pavi mentioned back in 2019 that he thought that the league had caught up to the Warriors. And me personally, I was fighting against it. But in actuality, the league did catch up to them in 2019. And that was really kind of the end of it. What they did was, you can't replicate the greatness of what the Warriors were when they were at their peak. And as you watch guys get older and age out and lose some of their potency, I think you just see just a true testament to how great they were for so long. You know what I mean? So for me, I think where they go from here is just rebuild. And they're in so much salary cap hell. I'm not sure how they're going to rebuild, but I wouldn't be surprised if Steph Curry requested a trade. And if he did, the Warriors should abide by it and do their best to trade him. And whatever team out there better be willing to give up mad picks. I would love to see Steph Curry in a Chicago Bulls uniform.
Oh my God, here you go.
Trade him for real.
Hit the button for yourself.
Trade him for
You do good dope. You do good dope.
trade him for Zach LaVine.
Oh my God.
Mad. Trade him for Zach LaVine and mad picks. Zach LaVine. Give me Zach LaVine, Patrick Williams, and mad picks. Like, I need all of your picks. All of them. And all the ones you got from everybody else, too. And then I try to rebuild around Zach LaVine and Jonathan Kuminga and Draymond Green. And then we got a wing heavy team. You go get you a point guard that can score, that can distribute.
You crazy,
Get
man.
you a center that can stretch the floor or a rim runner. You good. You back in the mix.
That's hilarious. But my thoughts on I think it's time to move on coaching wise. I think Steve Kerr, I think he shoots this team in the head himself a lot of the times. I just start off just with Kuminga. Kuminga, I believe, was ready to break out at the beginning of the year, but he was playing 10, 15 minutes a night. even when he going stretches, he ended up right back on the bench. As soon as Kerr finally realized this and he played him 25 plus
No, as
minutes
soon as
tonight.
Kuminga called him out in the media, let's be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah. That's exactly it. My bad. That's correct. As soon as one of the rare situations where a coach got called out by a player in the media, then right after that he's playing them, and then he's on the court. Stuff like that has been happening consistently. I think Moses Moody has the ability to be one of the most consistent, better role players in the league. He doesn't play as much as he should play. Trace Davis Jackson played 11 minutes tonight.
How? It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make any sense,
especially when you got DeMontis Sabonis
sense.
out there grabbing rebounds.
They was running three. They had Pods, Chris Paul, and Steph out there at the same time.
Yeah, what the hell is Steve Kerr doing?
Like, what are we doing? Like, I just
he
think
did get dope.
A lot of good though. I think it's time to move on coaching wise. I think he stunts the growth of their youth, and I think he mismanages Steph a lot. I think he had a hell of a run. He's without a question one of the greatest coaches in NBA history based off what he has done. But I think that for the last couple of years he has been sabotaging his team. So I think first off, start off moving on from the coach.
You know where he going if he leave?
He's not coming to the Lakers. Where he going?
He either going to the Lakers or the Clippers.
I guess, but
no. Imagine the Clippers are gonna get eliminated in the first round. Ty Lue is getting fired instantly after that game. Because all of this to me is really his fault, and a lot of his mismanagement as well of this team and arrogance on his behalf. He's gonna get fired, and then they're gonna be like, "Oh, we need to keep this team. Kawhi Leonard knee messed up. He's gonna need to rehab. We're going to a new stadium. We want to do offense. Steve Kerr, come be the coach of the Warriors for $100 million for the next 6 years or something. Watch.
Wait,
it's gonna be like,
who? Or the Clippers?
I'm sorry. The Clippers. He going
for $100 million.
Yeah, they watch. They gonna sign him like a 7-year, $100 million deal.
Sheesh.
And he gonna say he gonna retire the Clippers coach. Jerry West is there. He's comfortable with all of these guys. Watch, it's gonna happen. Remember I said that. And if not the Clippers, they gonna fire Darvin Ham. Even though I will say this, you all hate Darvin Ham.
I don't hate Darvin Ham.
But Darvin Ham has gotten you to a conference finals, and now he has gotten you to the playoffs again. And you all have a chance to beat the defending champions in the first round. And if you do, you really got to walk to the finals. I think as much as you want to, and we want to be upset at Darvin Ham's mistakes, you have to. The Lakers were never going to be the number one seed in the West this year, right? Do you agree?
Not number one. It could have been top 6 though for sure.
That's not. No, that's not. That's no. I just asked you. I just asked you a question.
Not number one. No.
Okay.
No.
So let me finish real quick. So with that being said, if you're Darvin Ham and you bringing in these new pieces that you think will you be able to utilize and use in the playoffs, you have to experiment. And if you don't, then what was the point of you bringing them in just to do the same exact thing you did last year? So even as frustrating as it may be, theoretically, you all are in the same exact places you were last year, because if you beat the Nuggets, you're probably going to the finals. I don't believe that the Lakers are going to beat the Nuggets and then lose to the Mavericks or the Clippers and then lose to the Thunder or the fucking Timberwolves. It's not fucking happening. It's not happening. You feel me?
I feel you.
But go ahead. My bad.
But you're good. But I mean, as far as like their future go, I think you start with the coach. Chris Paul was a 1-year deal that's going to help relieve their salary because he's off the books this year. That's going to help them a lot. I'm not sure if they end up blowing it up or not. Obviously they have Clay's bird rights. If they want to go over the cap again and re-sign him, they can do that. It's hard to really look at the team and see what they want to do in the near future. I don't, like you said, Steph Curry is still Steph Curry, and he will fill up the Chase Center. That's a new arena that you still want to be able to fill up these next couple of years. And Steph might want to just be a Tim Duncan, Kobe type player where he gets stayed the whole entire career, get a farewell tour, that whole statue, the whole thing. If that's the case, I mean, you just ride Steph Curry until you can't no more. And I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, would they ever be in contention with this team with these guys? I don't think so. Obviously, you don't really. They get another mid-draft pick. They don't have any lottery picks on the way. It's just they're kind of in no man's land. But I mean, you had to. I think you can settle for that though. People they like to bag on the Lakers because we didn't win anything from 2011 to 2020, the 9-year stretch of like pretty much or 6-year stretch of poor basketball. I mean, that goes with the game. Nobody is good for 20 years, 20, 30, 10, 15 years straight. Like, it's going to be downfalls. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. You argue like the best team in the league for a very, very long time. It's just time for them to, I mean, just make sure Steph ride him out the league the appropriate way. Make sure he gets paid. Make sure your arena is still popping. Maybe Steph, the Golden State is still it's an attractive place. Maybe as some of these contracts they get some more cap space, they can maybe bring somebody in to play with Steph. Like obviously one of the big rumors over the deadline was the whole they offered to trade for LeBron. Whatever. I'm not saying that's realistic, but if they can bring somebody in, but just make sure Steph gets out the rides out the league as best as you can. And obviously, if you question trade him. But if not, just rock with that. But I mean, a championship is probably something. The 2022 championship really relieves. It doesn't look all that bad. You just won a ship you weren't supposed to win a couple years ago. Nobody had them winning that, doing what they did a couple years ago. But it's just, I mean, the era is over. It happens. We've seen dynasties fall over and over again as time passes. The Spurs was successful. They've been trashed for a while now. Obviously, the Lakers were bad for a long time. The Heat were bad after they won 2 championships in 4 years. The list goes on. It's just they're another one of those dynasties that nothing lasts forever. It's with the league.
Yep. So as we get ready to get up out of here and wrap up, we got the NBA East play-in games. Who you got? We got Miami at Philadelphia tomorrow. We are unsure if Embiid will play, but I guess we'll see. Who you got?
I got Miami. I think they're great. They go out there and they get the job done. I trust Coach Spo and those guys to get out there and be prepared for Miami. I think even if Embiid does play, they got Bam and they got guys. Kevin Love is a good poster friend. They got guys for Embiid, and they should be prepared to knock them out. I got Miami.
Yeah. I was actually going to take Miami, but I'm gonna take Philly. Philly is actually favored to win by 5.5, which to me means that the odds makers think Embiid is going to play. I think Embiid comes out and puts on a virtual performance. If I'm the 76ers, I want the Knicks. Like, I think the Heat can still beat the Celtics in the first round like they've done time and time again when they've upset people. So if I'm them, I'm thinking we need to go get that second seed. We can beat the Knicks in 6 or 7. Let's go do it. Second game, we got the Atlanta Hawks at the Chicago Bulls. Who you got? I'm taking the Bulls, obviously. I'm from Chicago. I'm taking DeMar to go off for 30 points. Kobe White, MVP of the night, 36 points.
Kobe White, yeah, that's my most improved player of the year award. He's been exceptional this year. Shout out to Kobe White. Obviously, no Trae Young for the Hawks, so I got to ride with you on this one with the Bull. I'm going with the Bulls as well. I think Kobe White done something new. Caruso has been an exceptional player. I watched him the last game of the season versus the Knicks. Just all over the place, hitting threes, getting deflections, diving on the floor. They got I just got them the Hawks without Trae Young. Yeah, I'm going with the Bulls.
For sure. So, fans, we appreciate you all. Late night hoops and brews after the play-in. I will try to get some more time in, but if not, we will be back with you all next week for the beginning of the playoffs, live with the happy hour on Monday. We bringing the multicam back, so we gonna have multiple cameras again. We got a new switcher. We got some new cool stuff coming up for y'all. Shout out to all the fans. We love y'all. It's your boy TPJ. Find me on Twitter at TPJFHNB. And make sure you follow us at Hoops and Brews. Joel, go ahead and get your plug in.
Get me on Instagram, Joel R. Wilson, Twitter at The Jolts. Follow us at Hoops and Brews. Thank y'all for tuning in. Good episode.
Yes, sir, fam. And until next time, we will get up with y'all later. They thought our run was over, but we back on our grind, so let's get it. But I'm back on my grind.